Hi,
Hi, how's it going?
all good. How about you? We are on.
Good.
It's the last day for everyone.
This is the last day, the last session.
Yeah, yeah, exact.
Nice.
It was not intensive week for everyone.
I can imagine.
Okay, so just we're gonna wait a bit, like under 5 minutes, waiting for everyone. And yes, we're gonna start just after that. Um, and yeah, I will let you know. Just
Amazing.
I need to kick out the AI as usual is because otherwise we receive a lot of spamming message on the chat from uh, from AI. Like you are in Spain right now.
Yeah, I'm in Spain at the moment. Yeah, in Madrid.
Yeah, super cool. Oh, there is an event soon in Madrid. Erdao organized something with Covalent, like on the 8th, I guess.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it's called like Merge Madrid or something like that.
Yeah, 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 exact.
Yeah, yeah. I think I might go. I have a few friends going
Oh,
there.
cool. Cool, cool, cool. Anyone in Spain here, uh, inside the courts? I think so, yes. Like
Maybe
probably 2 or 3 people from Spain. Oh, Raquel, she's from uh, uh Spain, but Catalan, Catalan,
Barcelona. Barcelona, maybe.
Catalan, I guess.
Where are you now, Celine?
I'm in Malaysia, and from tomorrow I'm going in Thailand during 1 month and a half. And yes, just during this month, like before, I started to go in Asia mid-August, starting with Japan, then Korea, then Singapore, Bali, Malaysia, and Thailand, where I can a bit a bit sleep.
Rest. Wow,
It's
what a trip.
because yes, it's super hectic sometimes to just go to travel too much and work in the same time is complicated sometimes, but that's fine.
And how's the weather there? Is it raining a lot? I saw.
Yeah, in Malaysia, we are in the season of raining, um, and I know in Thailand, where I'm going tomorrow, so Chiang Mai, they just have some floods and some issues regarding that inside the city. So I was a bit scared about it, but that's fine. Our space is not affected by this issue.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So okay, for AI, we don't have. Okay, that's fine. We can start in 1 minute. Yes, before that, it would be really nice if you can introduce yourself and how you start with Erdao as well. Like where did you learn about it? And what is your involvement with you and yeah.
Cool. Here's my face. Okay, we can wait one more minute and then start.
Yes, we are around 50 by session uh, without AI. So yes, people gonna come in probably in 10 minutes or something like that.
No worries. And what's like, I'm curious to know what's like some of the things that the group have been learning this week.
Yeah, so basically, the first week, like the first session was with Bedelgeld, so about mastering scaffold hits and more especially scaffold base as well. And we had a session about the graph, so a great session about it. And yesterday we had an introduction to Unchained Kit, the Unchained Kit, and how to learn how to ship adapt really fast with that. And yes, right now we want to have um, a full stack depth with ThirdWeb, especially regarding Telegram, because like I said during hackathon right now, it's a trend to have a mini Telegram application just because Telegram is like the mass adoption right now.
Mhm.
If you want to target really user, you need to pass by this kind of application, and the numbers behind that is just crazy. So that's why if you want to create a project, don't hesitate to take a look at Telegram just to to make it to to yeah, I don't know the term, but it's you're gonna have a great if you did it.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yes. Oh, let me check. Tasnim. I will modify the Luma right now. Okay. Um, let's start. In any case, the session is recorded. So I push it on Telegram, Discord, and by email. So uh, people gonna have like a whole recording session by this way.
Amazing. Yeah, let's start. And people like can join, and if it's recorded, then it's cool because
Yeah.
like anyone can see it later. But well, everyone, like hi, my name is G. I'm really happy to be here. I'm gonna talk a little bit about HER like my experience with HER like have always been amazing. I think I knew about HER like maybe like already like 3 or 4 years ago. I think like it's been like a good few years now, at least 3 years or so.
Oh,
Definitely. And it was like the first basically group of developers, like women developers that I met. And if I'm not mistaken, I realized about this when I went to a hackathon in Lisbon. And I met like a few people there from HER. I didn't know HER existed. So I was like, whoa, I can't believe this exists. And after that, I just like became friends with few of the Herdao people. Well, I think one of the rock stars that most people know is Lina. I think like Lina like got me into Herdao. She told me like you have to go to one of the hackathons, you have to come. So I took the word and basically went to one of the hackathons in Lisbon. I think it was the Woman Hack, the first one that I joined with Herdao. And that was like an amazing experience, to be honest. Was super cool. Like I felt like really comfortable to be like in that competition, meeting people. I learned a lot. It was awesome. So that was kind of my experience with her DAO. Then basically from there it's been kind of amazing because even with you, Soline, like we have seen each other in a few places. I think a year and a half we did the Barcelona hackathon, the Eat Barcelona hackathon. I was very lucky to be able to organize that with a few people from Eat Barcelona, and that was like an amazing experience. It was like really hard work, but really satisfying at the end. So yeah, we have seen each other like a good few years now. Like, and one of the things that I like to see is that like some of us that have been here for a few years, like I see everyone growing so much. Like everyone is like working in Web3 companies, like doing hackathons, like not only participating like hackers, but also like organizing hackathons at this point or being like judge or mentors. So I feel like everyone that joins her DAO after a while, like you just evolve, and I feel like it's kind of like a nice networking of people where we're always trying to help each other, right? Like if you start working for a company, I'm working, for example, in ThirdWeb right now. So it's like always trying to basically spread knowledge like, hey, like these are these amazing tools, you can use it for this. So it's pretty cool. I'm always like as well in contact with Lina, and we're always talking about like how cool it is to see everyone basically evolving into the industry, right? And I think that's one of the cool things about being in Herdao. Like it's an amazing network of people. And then when you want to do that jump into, okay, now I'm ready to be working as a developer or whatever other position, you'll have like a lot of support, right? And I really encourage everyone to like use the network, like basically DM people, contact people, tell them that you're looking for a job, like just be open about it. Everyone is always willing to help. So I think that's like an amazing thing that we have here, like this network of people working in these um, different companies. So like if you want to join Web3 companies, like this is the best networking, and you just need to like literally DM people and be like, hey, like I want a job, like help me, how can I do this? And all of that. So that's a little bit about my experience with HerDAO. And then in terms of my personal experience, like I'm a front-end developer. I have been a developer for, I don't know, like 6 or 7 years now. I'm old. And I have been working in Web3 for like 3 to 4 years, and different companies, like big companies, also like small startups, startups that are only like even like in seed process. So like a bunch of like different type of companies. It's an amazing world. Like I fucking love Web3. Like it's amazing. It's like adrenaline, learning new things, meeting new people, going into events. So it's like the dream for me, basically. Currently, I'm working with ThirdWeb, which is an amazing company. I'll introduce a little bit what ThirdWeb is now with the presentation. But yeah, I'm working here as a success engineer, basically, which is mainly, well, all the positions in Web3 can be like multitasking. So like you always have like this position name, but like at the end you end up doing like a bunch of things. But I'm sort of a solutions engineer at the moment. So basically helping like all our like pro clients to like solve issues with their apps or anything like that. So working really closely with the whole like core team of engineering to make sure that like we are gathering to like success for customers and what developers are looking for, basically. And in overview, ThirdWeb is a developer tools where you can like deploy contracts, like connect wallets. Like there's a bunch of things that I'm going to be showing now in the workshop. But yeah, excited to get into this. That's basically a little bit about myself. Any questions, please let me know, like drop them in the chat. I think for this session is quite practical, right? Like it's like hands-on. So anyone who wants to try and follow me, that's cool. But all the content is going to be in this presentation. I'm going to be sharing like code, like a repo that anyone can clone. Like it's there. It's basically to make it easy if you want to develop this type of apps. Um, and I would say like let's keep the questions to the end, unless it's like a simple question, so I can like get into the flow of like explaining from 1 to 0. I mean, from 0 to 100 to build an app on Telegram. Um, what else? Well, one thing is like I'm from Venezuela, so shout out to all the Latinas there that are killing it. Like I'm always like very excited to show in Spanish as well. Like this is something that I've been trying to do. Like I want to do more workshops in Spanish because I feel like there's no so much information. So anyone who's with like Herdao Colombia, Herdao Latam, like just like DM me. I'm really happy to work with anyone. So cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. The goal of this developer cohort, like global developer cohort right now, is as well to provide resources for local communities like ThirdWeb, especially yes in Spanish, to um, redo the same thing but with their own language. So really happy to have you on board for another workshop. Yes, with a special ThirdWeb.
amazing. Cool. I requested, oh yeah, to share the screen. So I'm here. Let me see. I'll share my full screen. I think you can see that, right?
Yes, perfect.
So let's see. I'm going to be like changing tabs a lot. So bear with me because I need to jump into presentation coding and Telegram. So just so you know, if you don't see any of the screens, because I'm like sharing one screen and I have another one, just let me know like I cannot see what you're talking about and like I'll make sure that I'm showing the right screen, just in case. But anyway, so I did a bit of an intro of myself. I'll be sharing like some of my social medias and stuff at the end. So if anyone wants to like DM me, contact me for anything, like I'm always very happy to help. Basically, today we're going to be building a Telegram mini app. As you mentioned before, this is like a huge trend, right? Like, I mean, in my timeline, I'm seeing like Telegram mini apps everywhere. Seems to be a really cool trend because I feel like we can onboard so many people easily into Web3 using Telegram, right? Like, it's an app that many people use for messaging, for chatting, and it's like, a very popular app that every time is getting like more popular, more popular. So this is awesome that we can now basically connect any Web3 technology with Telegram. Like this is really amazing. I will say that this workshop is gathered like to very beginner developers. It's quite simple. I think at the beginning when I look into how to develop this Telegram mini app, I thought it was going to be much more complicated, but I hope I simplify it enough that everyone can like really like get hands-on and do it. So I'm going to be introducing a little bit about ThirdWeb, what ThirdWeb is, as this is going to be like one of the main technologies that we're using to create this mini app. ThirdWeb, as I said, is a full stack open source Web3 development platform. This basically means that like ThirdWeb provides like a bunch of tools for developers to basically build apps, right? Or dApps, as we like to call them, like anything that we can link with a contract, anything that we can interact with a contract, like we can use ThirdWeb for that. And we have like very simple tools to do it. So I'll give a brief intro. We have some of the tools that we have are for front end, right? Some are on chain, so anything to do with like contracts and anything like that. We also have some tools for like backend. We have like gasless transactions. We have a thing called Engine, which is like a very powerful tool for to do transactions in the backend. Anything this is really useful, especially if you want to build an app that you want to onboard Web2 users, right, into Web3. So basically, in the front end, we have a bunch of things like wallet connectors. We have in-app wallets, which is like account abstractions. We'll be talking a little bit about that later. Um, and we have a few SDKs where we can basically super simple deploy any type of contract um, into blockchain, into any chain. I'll be also showing a little bit about that. So in here, I'm showing like kind of the same. So we have like this type of like connections, like we can build a wallet from scratch. You can customize your wallet to whatever. I don't know if you can see properly here, because I have like the Zoom things, but yeah, I think you can see it.
Um,
So yeah. So basically with a few lines of code, you can like customize your whole experience for a user, right? Like using the connect. Apart from like the conventional like Web3 wallets like MetaMask and all that, we also have a feature called Pay, which is pretty amazing if you want to build a type of like shop or marketplace or anything to do with like onboarding Web2 users, which means that with our Connect functions, you can basically use credit cards to pay for something, right? Whether that's like an NFT or if you're selling like, let's say merch, if you have a shop and you want to sell merch, you can use this feature to
So
connect.
someone is asking if you can put in a slide bigger, probably slideshow, click on slideshow. Yes.
Like that. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change some tabs anyway, but yeah, I'll put it like this while I introduce everything. But yeah, pay is amazing feature as well. Like you can basically onboard users, like people can pay with credit cards and they have not even idea that they're paying with crypto in the back end. So this is a cool thing to use when you're maybe building a marketplace or a shop or anything like that. Really cool. And basically, it's the same. With a few lines of code, you can set up your whole payment and just add it to your app, and that's it. Apart from that, which is kind of more on the front end part, like how to connect users to your app, we also have like contracts, right? Like I'm sure you have seen in the last few days, like how to deploy contracts. Contracts on chain are something that, some people specialize in contract. Like, well, Celine, like some people are just like contract developers and you just learn Solidity or ROS or anything like that, and you just like build contracts, right? But one of the things that we have here, it's basically a solution where you can like use our pre-built contracts that are already audited, right? You don't have to like go and pay so much money to audit your contracts. And you can just use it and interact with them, like change them, customize them. And we have like some of the most popular contracts, right? Like we have like NFT drops, like marketplaces. We have like ERC20 tokens, edition drops. So basically, just with a few clicks, you can just deploy a contract from the dashboard and then take that contract address and interact with that. I'll be giving an example of this with the Telegram app. And yeah, you go to your dashboard. Once you deploy your contracts, you're going to have like a view of all the contracts that you have deployed, the name, the contract address, the chain basically that you deploy the contract, and all the information with that. Cool. So that's like a super brief intro to ThirdWeb. I'll go inside their web and show a little bit. So basically, this is the website. And once you go here, you can connect your wallet, right? In this case, I'm going to be connecting the wallet that I'm going to use to deploy our contract. But anyway, we have like a bunch of wallets that you can connect to. Let me move this Zoom window here. And once you're in, it looks a little bit like this, right? So you have like your home where you can add payment. In this case, if you want to do like some pay features, we have like all the connect examples that I was talking about, like sign-in buttons, account abstraction, in-app wallets. We have the contracts and all that. And then we have more information in the dashboard, right? Like right now, we're going to be using the contracts and then the connect, but I'm going to be showing step by step this, right? So let me go back to the presentation. And in here, I hope you guys can see well, because I need to change tabs again. But basically in here, what we're going to do, we're going to build a Web3 Telegram mini app, right? Inside Telegram. Few things that we need here. We obviously need a Telegram app, right? And then we can create an account in the ThirdWeb dashboard, just like as I did. Like it's super simple. You just sign in and automatically you have an account there. For this particular app, I'm going to be showing how to build like a quiz, which is like a simple thing that like anyone can build with like few questions. We have other examples like of other games, like more complex game, but just for the purpose of this demo, because otherwise it could be like 3 hours building the game. I'm just going to build like a super simple quiz. And in this quiz, basically, when you answer correctly, you're going to earn some tokens. We're going to be deploying a contract using some ERC20 tokens to give tokens to users once they're playing the quiz, right? And then in this app, it's going to be super simple. I'm going to show you now, but basically we'll have a simple connect button where people can connect to the app. then we're going to be showing the balance, the token balance and the wallet address, and then the mini game, right? That in this case, it's going to be the quiz. Cool. If any questions, please, Solin, let me know because I can't see the
Yes,
chat.
for sure. No worries.
Cool. So basically for this, one of the first things that we're going to need, it's a bot, a Telegram bot. Anyone that have been building with Telegram, you probably know that like you have to do everything with a Telegram bot. And there's a bunch of bots. You can Google them. There's many, many bots at the moment because Telegram is super trendy. But we're gonna be using this one called Bot Father, right? So in this presentation, I'm giving all the links that you need. So after I share this, like you can like find all the links there. But basically you go there and download the bot and you just need to add it to your Telegram. Okay, so I won't show it right now, but basically you send a message to your Telegram and immediately you'll see the bot there, right? So basically like here, this is my Telegram. And this is once I click that, basically the bot is in here and we can like chat with the bot and interact with the bot for what we're gonna do. So that's the first thing. So we are gonna go to the bot, right? What that I showed you just now. And in there, usually the way we interact with Telegram bots are through commands, like super simple commands, right? So the first command that we need to give to the bot is to create a new bot. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Telegram here. Let me put this a little bit smaller. I think you can see that, right? And we're gonna do /new bot, right? So once we do the command, it says like, okay, how do you wanna call your bot, right? So basically, I'm gonna call this bot, let's see, sometimes it tells you that like the name has already been taken. So let me try H.E.R Telegram bot. Okay, cool. So basically we are giving the name of the bot first, and then we need to give another name for the bot username, right? So I'm gonna try and give a similar name. In this case, it has to end with bot, like kind of the example I gave. So let's see if it lets me. Okay, perfect. So this is cool. Um, you can just read here, congratulations, you have a new bot. So we have created a new bot, just that simple, like in few steps. And this bot is going to give us an access token, right? And this token, like the best thing is to save it like in your notes or anywhere where you cannot lose this bot. This is going to be important because if we want to then access this API, we need to have this, right? So keep it safe. Let's go back to the presentation. We already gave the name and the username to the token. We have the access token that we can save. And then after that, we have the new bot, right? So the next step will be to create a new app. So we'll copy these, go back to Telegram, and with / we're going to say create new app, right? So we can select it here and say, okay, what's going to be the name of your new app, right? So let me try a similar name, Herdao Telegram mini app. Okay, it's telling me that no. Which bot will we, okay, sorry, I got confused here. So it's asking me what's the name of my bot. So I believe it's this one that I put here. So I'm gonna put like add the name of my bot. Okay, that's cool. So we are creating now a new mini app with this bot, right? So now it's telling me, please enter a title for the web app. Cool. So we're going to say something similar. Like in here, you can put whatever. So I'm trying just to use like simple words. Telegram mini app. Okay, that's the title. Now it's telling me, okay, you need to enter a description. So let's say phone Telegram mini app. Cool. So that's my description. Now, for the bot, it's always going to ask you to upload a photo, and it needs to be exactly this size. What I did to do this was basically to use Canva. So if you just go to Canva and like put the size, the pixel size, you can use like any photo for this. This is going to be like the photo of the cover. So when you share the Telegram mini app, basically the cover and the photo that you upload here, it's gonna appear there, right? So I'm just gonna choose any photo. I think I have this one here, which is ThirdWeb Her, and it has the right pixel size. So cool, I added the photo. Now you can also do like a demo GIF or anything like more complex, but in this case, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna say empty to skip this step. And then like you can always like the bot is saying, you can edit the app and add that. So as you can see here, now it's asking me what's going to be the web app URL, right? So we need to provide to the bot a URL where the app live. We don't have that at the moment because we haven't started coding or anything, but so then we're going to go to that step, okay? So we already provided all the steps here. Everything, the commands and everything is right here. So it's going to be super simple. So now I think I'm going like in a good pace. I don't know if I'm going too fast, but let me know if I'm.
Because yes, everyone knows Telegram, and it's like a no code part, so that's fine.
Amazing. So cool. So now we're going to go to the coding part. In this project, we're going to be using React. I think probably most of you are very familiar with React. So I think this is going to be quite easy to set up. We're going to be using Byte for this project as well, which is a framework, and TypeScript for it. So, a very easy combo and very popular combo, React TypeScript, it's classic. So then for these, we can use NPM, Yarn, or whatever you use here. Okay, so I'm going to be using NPM for this. And what we need to do first is create the project, right? So I'm going to go and create the project from scratch. In here, anyone can use basically their flow. I feel like all developers have their own flow to create projects. For simplicity, I'm going to start by creating a folder in my documents, and I'm going to call it like Telegram, Her mini app. So once I create this folder, what I'm going to do is basically drop this in my VS Code, or you can use whatever. Wait, because I have this window from from Zoom that is not letting me see anything. Oh my God. Okay, I was able to move it. So, okay, I'm going to be using VS Code, but you can use any like code editor. And I'll open this folder that I just created here, okay? You can see the folder is completely empty. We don't have anything there at the moment. But here is we're going to be creating the project. So I'm going to open my terminal here inside the folder. And if we want to just follow the instructions, we can do this, right? So first, let's create the Vibe project. This is basically like creating a React project. So it's going to ask us a project name, right? So let's say Her Telegram, DevCon. I don't know. I'm just putting whatever. So you can see super similar to creating a React project, right? So I'm going to select React here, and then we're going to select for the keys here, we're going to select TypeScript and SWC. Cool. So we have created the project. You can see inside this folder, we have like basically all we need, like the base template that we're going to be using. And then we have like a few instructions here, right? So the first thing we need to do is we need to go inside this project that we just created, as we are outside currently. DevCon. Cool. So you can see now I'm inside this project, right? So first thing, we're going to install all the packages that we need. By the way, all these steps are in the presentation, right? So I'm just going through these steps here. Very, very simple. If anyone have created a React project before, this is super similar. So yeah, I install all my packages, right? And now the thing that I need to do is basically run this project, right? So if everything is cool, it will provide a local host, and I can open that local host, and you can see my project is here already. This is just a basic template for Vue and React that has a counter included, but we're going to be deleting this because we're going to be putting our mini game here. So in those few steps, we already created the base code project. So if you're in a basically in a hackathon, what's the first thing you need to do? You need to create a code like in a few minutes, right? So this is like the best thing to do when creating a project, like just have the base there, and then we can start customizing from here, right? So let me go back to the presentation again. Mm. Cool. So we did all these steps already, and we already created the project. The project is live, right? So let's go to the next thing that we need to do here. So next thing we need to do, we need to add the first thing, we need to go to the index, right? Index.html. And basically we are going to provide a link, a meta link here. I added here as well for to easy copy this. And this link, this meta link, it's going to basically say to our project, like, hey, we're going to be interacting with Telegram. So Telegram can basically recognize this code, right? So I'm going to be adding it here and just save that, right? Once we do this, well, we already are running this locally. The terminal is running already, so that's fine. And at this point, what we need to do, we left the bot right there, and the bot is asking us to provide a URL, right? Like a public URL. One of the things here that usually when you're making a project, you can use, for example, Vercel. Vercel is like a super popular tool for deploying, right? In this workshop, I'm going to be showing a new Vercel that is like so much simple to use, and I think it's going to be quite useful for the hackathon because in a few steps you can just deploy the app and get a URL. So I think this is a quite useful thing. It's called ngrok. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this. Cool. We're going to open this deployment tool, and the first thing we need to do is like install this on our local computer. I already have this installed, right? But like if you open your terminal, like it could be like iTerm or any terminal in your computer, you can basically using brew install, you can install this package. So in this case, I already have it installed. I don't need to upgrade or anything, so that's fine. Once you have that, what you need to do is basically sign up for an account, okay? So let me go back here. You go sign up for an account with your email, open an account, it's free. Once you install with Brew, you should have this program in your computer, and all you have to do, it's basically configure the auth token. As you can see here, this is my auth token, but this is linked to my account. So once you open your account, your token should be there, and all you need to do is basically copy this and add it to the terminal, right? That's all we need to do at the moment. Then once we configure this, basically this installation, what we need to do is deploy the URL using our token, right? So we're going to go back here to our app, to VS Code, and I'm going to go open a new terminal.
People
Go.
asking why we need to use ngrok.
This is for deploying the app to a public URL.
Yeah, you have
So
your answer right now.
just like using Vercel, for
Yeah.
example, that it provide like a public URL for this. What we're gonna do right now is like deploy our app, like deploy this code into a public URL. So here I'm gonna go inside my app again as I open a new terminal, Telegram DevCon, and now I'm inside the app. So what I did here, we're going to deploy the app to our local host. Okay, so this is what we're doing at the moment. So I'll copy this command, come back here. And as you can remember, in here we have wait, where is the app? in here we have the app, right, in the local host. So at the moment, we're using localhost 5173. So what we're going to do is like we're given these instructions here, right? Instead of 8080, we're going to use 5173, which is our local host. Enter, and you can see now I already have our app deployed, just like in two commands. Okay, so what is ngrok doing here? Ngrok is helping me deploy this code into a public URL that I can use to provide to the bot, the Telegram bot that we're using, right? So as you can see right here, this is our public URL. So I'm going to open this URL. And we're going to visit the site because this doesn't have any like certified security or official domain. You might have like this little window saying like, yeah, I want to open this app. And you can see here in the URL, this is our public URL. This is what ngrok does for us, right? As we need this URL to provide to the bot. So the same app that we have in our local, like running in local, is now running in our public URL. So what's the next thing that we need to do? We need to provide this URL to the bot. So that's where we left, right? So in here, you can see now, please send me the web app URL, right? So I copy the URL, add it here, and it says good. So we provided the URL that they need, right? Because we cannot provide like a local host URL. It needs to be a public one. So
Could
now we're asking, yeah.
could we use as well Vercel, or is it mandatory to
Yeah.
have?
No,
Okay,
you can use Vercel. You
okay,
can
yeah.
use Vercel. Like you can use any tool to deploy the app, basically. What we need here is to have like a public URL. I'm using ngrok because it's like super simple. Like with two commands, you can do that. With Vercel, which is simple as well, you might have to do a few more things, right? Like you might have to provide like environment variables, like you have to provide like other things. So this one is just like super simple to do. So we provided the URL, and now it's asking us, this your name will be used for the URL. So we see that the name that we provided before for the bot, H.E.R Telegram bot, it's now there. And it's asking us to provide an identifier, right? So we're going to say here, like, again, like H.E.R Telegram. Let's see if this one is good. Cool. So now for the URL, basically, you can see it here. We have the Telegram link here, then the name of the bot, and then the name of our app, okay? So what's gonna happen here? This mini app is already created. So in those few steps, we already created the mini app. And if I click here, we can launch the mini app already, okay? So this is like kind of what I was saying, because this is not like with an official domain. It will maybe say that message, but you just say continue. And then we have the mini app inside Telegram. Trying to move again. This is something. Okay, cool. So we have the mini app here. And this is how the mini app inside Telegram looks. On the phone, of course, I'm using the Telegram web, but on the phone is the same. Like you will open that and then you'll see the mini app inside the app. Like it's exactly the same. So this is the app that we have at the moment, right? Like the app that we just deployed. And what we did, like to do a bit of a recap, what we did at the moment is like we installed the Telegram bot, we created the new bot and a new app inside the bot. And then we created our basically base project with React, right? So what we're seeing at the moment is that base project that we haven't touched yet. So next step, what we're going to do, we're going to get more into the Web3 stuff, right? So going back to the app here, to the presentation. So we did this part, we installed this, we deployed the app, all of that, right? So what we need to do now, basically we need to find a way to connect users into our app, whether that's using like a wallet or an email, whatever way we want to connect them. So the first thing we need to do, we need to install the ThirdWeb SDK. So we can use npm to install this. So I'll go back to the project. go to my terminal. Actually, I'm going to open a new terminal here. I'll go inside our app that we just created. Cool. And then inside the app, I'm going to just install npm install ThirdWeb. And this is going to give us all the tools that we need to connect users into our app. So while that's connecting, I'll explain a little bit here. So next step, we need to create a file, a new file. In this file, we're going to be adding basically our secret keys or our client ID from ThirdWeb that we're going to create just now, just with these few lines of code. Okay, so we'll go to our project and we create this file first. So can you see the code? Is it too small? Let me know.
Yes, that's fine.
Fine, cool. So I'll go here inside my folder, right? And I'll create a file called client PS. In this file, basically, we're going to be connecting with the ThirdWeb tools. So I'll copy this here. And the main thing we need here is a client ID, right? So with a client ID, we can connect our app with all the ThirdWeb tools that we're going to be using. So I'll save these. And the next step, we need to create an EVM file here. So this is a classic one for hiding our secret keys and all that, right? So we're going to create this and we'll go to our client here. And this is the variable that we're going to be sharing with this app, right? So I'll copy this here and bring it into the env file. In here, we're going to be adding our client ID, right? So how to get a client ID? Basically, you will go to the ThirdWeb. I'm going to do it from scratch, so it's easier. We'll go to the ThirdWeb dashboard. We connect our wallet that we're going to be using for deploying the contract. So make sure to have like some testnet money there, basically. And one thing I can share with you guys as well, we have a chain list of all the EVM chains that you can be using. So let's say in this case, we're going to be use Base. I love Base. It's like super fast chain to build. And in here, if you connect your wallet, you can get some funds. I already claimed funds like a few hours ago. So it's like every 24 hours, like it refreshes. But if you need some funds, just go there and get something so we can be able to deploy the contract and everything. So for the client ID, what we're going to do, we need to go to our settings. And you can see we have API keys here, right? So what we're going to do, and I'm going to do it from scratch, we're just going to create a new API key. So let's call this HERDAO Telegram mini app. And for this case, I'm going to be allowing all domains because this is just like a demo. But if you have some app that you already deployed to an actual domain, you can restrict the API key to just use this domain. This would be in the case that you will use this is for security, basically. So this API key will just be linked to that domain. For the purpose of the app, we're just going to allow all domains, right? So we say yes, proceed. And we have our client, right? So first thing we need to do is save this. So I'll go to my notes. I have a bunch of clients ID here. So let's put it under here. So I'm going to put client ID. I'll save it here. And I'll save my secret key as well in case I need it later. This is important to save now because you won't be able to see it after. So once we save this, we'll say complete. And you can see I created my keys here, right? So first thing we need to do, we're going to provide this key to the app, right? So let's go to my notes. I'll copy my client ID and paste it here. So I'll save that. And just like that, we should be already connected to ThirdWeb tools. Cool. If any question, let me know. So we already did all the setup and all these steps. We provided the client ID. We created the env file to hide that client ID. And the next step we need to do, basically, we need to wrap our app with the ThirdWeb provider in order to use the tools, right? So I'll go back to my app. I'll go back to my app and I'll go to the main file. In here basically is the root of the file, right? Like this is the root file for everything. And this is our app. We're going to be basically adding the provider. And this is because we need to wrap our web provider with our app in order to use the tools, right? So I wrap here the app, I save it. I'm getting an error. I think this is like just linked things. So cool. So we provided that and we have everything set up. So we can continue here. Next thing we need to do, we need to add the connect button, right? So this is like the way users are gonna connect with us. In this one, I'm gonna try and go a bit faster because like, this is taking a long time. But basically, one of the things that I wanted to do, like I have all the code in a repo that I'm gonna be sharing. Anyone can clone that, like use it whatever you want. So it's easier if you want to build that. So what I'm going to do here is just copy the whole code and explain it a little bit in detail. Wait, here's the code. Let me go back here. One thing we need to do, we need to create a new file. I'm going to create a folder so it's a little bit more organized, and this is kind of like React standard. So we're going to be adding a component here. And we can call the component whatever we want really. Like I'm going to be calling it like Telegram quiz app. Basically, inside this component, we're going to put all the logic of the game. Okay, so let me copy the code here and I'll explain it a little bit in detail. Again, I have in the presentation all the code provided. Like I have the repo here that I'm going to be sharing. So all the code you can take it from there for, it's like quicker basically, and then you can customize it to whatever you want to do. In this case, the first thing we have here in this component is the questions that we're going to be using for the quiz, right? So you can create your questions, like it can be as many questions as you want. A few important things that we're doing here, basically, we're going to connect an account with this app. So basically, whatever user wants to join the app or use the mini app, they need to connect first, right? And then the next thing we got to do is deploy the contract. So let's go step by step here. I haven't added the connect button yet, but we're going to be adding that. So let me go back here. We are basically creating this component, right? So I created the component folder. Inside the component folder, I created the file. You can call the file whatever you want. And in there, you're going to put all the logic. In here, I have an example of like a rock, paper, scissors game, which is pretty fun. You can just like go to the repo and like copy the code. It's like super cool. So this is what we're going to be doing, right? Next, first of all, let's create the token contract, right? So for this, because we're going to be rewarding users with tokens, we need to create a contract that provide those tokens for us, right? So basically, we're going to go to the ThirdWeb dashboard. Let me move things around here a little bit. We're going to go to the ThirdWeb dashboard, and in there, under contracts, you can explore and use the ERC20 token contract, right? Which looks like this. All we need to do is like go and deploy this contract. We can call it like phone game or whatever, phone Telegram game. You can add a photo to the contract. Let's say the same photo that we're using for the bot. You can add a description, like whatever you want, right? And then we're gonna be going into which chain we're gonna deploy, right? So in this case, we're gonna use base Sepolia testnet. So make sure that you get some testnet funds before doing this. And you go ahead and deploy the contract, right? So once I'm deploying the contract, like it will tell me the fee. So just confirm that. Let's see, with the Zoom, everything is a little bit more slower. I'll sign this transaction here. Let me close these things here. I'm gonna refresh to see if this is already deployed. I'm gonna go to my contracts just to make it a little bit faster. Cool. So we already deployed the contract here. And if you go to the contracts tab, you'll see all the deploy contracts that you have. Like I have a bunch of these contracts that I've been like playing with. So basically I'll go to inside the contract and you can see all the details here to interact with that contract. We have the contract address, and this is what we're looking for right now. Our contract address, right? So let's move this here. If we go here, basically one of the first functions that we're going to be using is get contract. So what we want with this app is to interact with a contract that we just deployed, right? So first thing, we're going to just copy and paste the contract address. In here, we're just providing the client ID that we just created, and we have to specify a chain. So in this case, we're using base Apolia chain. And we provide the contract so we can interact with that contract. One of the things we're going to do is reward users with tokens, right? So next thing, once we create that, we already gave the details. You can give all those details. So everything is kind of like explained here step by step. Next thing we need to do some claim conditions for this contract. Okay, so we're going to go quickly here to the dashboard. And in the left, you can see we don't have any claim conditions. So any contract, you need to have claim conditions in order to interact with this. Otherwise, if the contract doesn't have claim conditions, you cannot interact with that, right? So let's add a phase here. And basically what I'm going to do is like add a public phase because it's like quicker. But you can also, instead of being public, you can do like an allow list, for example, and just allow certain people to use it, a bunch of things. So for this, I'm just going to do public unlimited tokens, and I'll just save this phase like this for now. So as we are interacting already with the contract, we're going to have to pay some gas fee to add the conditions, and that's it. So we already have these conditions active. There's no limit of tokens, but if you want to put a limit, you can add that. If you want to add an allow list, you can do that as well. But in this case, we're going to do it this way. Cool. So I'm already going like back and forward a little bit, but we already added the contract. We deployed the contract. We have the contract address that we added, just as I show with the function get contract. And the next thing we need to do is add a transaction button. This is basically in order to interact with the contract that we're using. So I'll show here. In this transaction button, basically what we're going to use this button for is to interact directly with the contract. And what we're going to do is like when users answer the quiz correctly, we're going to be giving points to that user, right? And once they complete the quiz, they can basically claim the prize by interacting with this contract that we just deployed. And they will just claim a few tokens from that contract. Hope this is kind of clear. So what else we need to do here? We are basically building the logic, right? So this can be any logic that you want. I'm just explaining like the logic of this specific quiz app. So in here, what we want to do, we want to show the balance. So we want to show how many tokens this user already have. And we want to interact with that specific contract address. So this is what we're doing here. So I'll show you in the code. Wait. Use read contract. So basically, this is to read the contract that we're using. Use read contract. So this is the function that we're importing. And in here, all we want to do is like read that contract and get the balance from that contract so we can display each user's balance, depending on how many tokens each user have. So super simple. Cool. So what I'm going to do here now, we're basically almost done. I'll explain a little bit the logic here, but this is something you can even like copy and paste into ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT like explain this logic and it will like spread the logic of this game, which is like please use ChatGPT for coding because like it's amazing. And for hackathons, like even more. So basically what we're doing here, we already deployed the contract, right? The ERC20 tokens. We are using base Epolia. We have the contract address here. What we need to do, we just need to connect our users using the connect button. So in this case, here's the connect button. What we're telling the connect button, few simple things. Use our client ID so you can connect with our ID, the ThirdWeb ID, use base Epolia. And one magic trick that I'm going to be showing here is like one feature that we have in ThirdWeb, which is sponsor gas. We have for testnet like this sponsor gas where basically we have like a paymaster. You can in the documentation you can read a little bit more about it, but with this line of code, if you just add true to this line of code, basically your users won't have to pay for gas. Like you will be sponsoring user gas. In this case, we're using testnet, so obviously it's like for free, but you can also do it if you're deploying like a project on mainnet, you can add into your wallet like an amount of gas and sponsor users gas. So this is amazing because if you want to be, for example, onboarding Web2 users, you cannot be telling the user like, hey, you have to like create a MetaMask wallet, you have to now put some tokens there because you have to pay gas. So like for Web2 users, this is like a different language, like they don't know what we're talking about, right? So if we're building a consumer app where we want to basically onboard as many people as possible, we need to try and make it easier for the user. This I recommend a lot, sponsor gas. Like I think this is the future of Web3. Users shouldn't be paying for gas. We should be paying for gas as we are the owners of this app. And what we want to do is like make it easy for the user. We want the user to log in one step. We don't want the user to be like paying for that and all that.
This is the base paymaster.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So it's super cool. We have it for all basically L2 chains. So we have it for Optimism as well and everything. But in this case, we're doing it with base. And this is super cool. So yeah, I already showed like how we're connecting the user in here, like just go ahead and in your own time, read the code. Like it's super simple. I'm just adding like a few conditions of like how this is going to work, adding a few buttons that we're going to need for that. And I'm just checking that we have our app running and everything, right? So what are we going to do now? I'm going to go into Telegram. I'm going to close this. Oh yeah, one more step. I forgot. So basically we have this app here, right? And this is called Telegram Quiz app. This is the name of the component that we created that is here, right? So one last step we need to do, we need to import this into the main app. We don't have that at the moment. So I'm going to be deleting all of this, which is like the template of the project, and we are going to be importing the component that we created, right? So I'll make sure to import it here. I'll delete these things that we're not using. We're not using this. This comes with the app. And in here, what I'm doing, I'm basically bringing the component that we just created into the main app and importing that. So I'll save this, go back to Telegram, and I'm going to launch my app again. Wait, did I launch the app? Oh, I didn't save this. Something is failing. Let's do a bit. Oh, I know what it is. I didn't add an image. I'm saying that I have an image here that I haven't added. So let me just go ahead and add it quickly. Where is it? So you see we have like an asset folder here. So we can add like images. I'll add this quickly here. And save this again. Let's go back to my terminal. It's building the app again. Cool. Let me go back here and open this again. Boom, we have the app there. So now basically this is the app. This is the image that I uploaded for the app. And if you read like the code, you can see like all of this is there, right? Like all the logic. What's the first thing here we are doing? We're connecting the users to the app. For this example, I added very simple things. So in here, because my main goal with this demo is to onboard Web2 users for a consumer app, I'm not even adding like wallet addresses here or like connecting MetaMask or anything. So few simple things. Anyone can connect with X, with Farcaster if you have an account, or with Discord. In this case, I'm going to be showing connecting with an email. So basically, this is what, and this is just like the last part.
A little bug, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, like on my side, you just bug a bit. I don't know if it's me.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's
I'll,
fine.
I'll
That's fine. It was just for 10 seconds.
Okay, okay, cool. So basically here, with the connect button that we added, we are doing a bit of account abstraction, which I think is like a super cool thing to do in Web3. Basically, what we do is I'm going to use my email to sign in, and in the backend, ThirdWeb is going to create an account and a smart account for this user. So I'll sign in and I'll get a code to my email. So I'll put the code here to sign in. 582. And that's it. We basically log in with an email, and ThirdWeb created a smart account for that email, right? So the account, the wallet address is this one here that ThirdWeb created for us in the backend. And we have a few simple things here. We have a logout button that you can see in the code here, which we use for disconnect. So if you want to disconnect the user, we just use this function and disconnect with a logout button. And then we have like the quiz, the main game, right? So like the main thing is here is like answer questions. So let's answer a few questions so you can see how it works. So cool, what's a hackathon? So we go to next question. Why is women's representation important? We go to the next question. What organizations support women? We go to the next question here. Obviously, I'm doing all correct because I know these questions already, and I want to show it. But yeah, you basically do whatever quiz you want. Once you finish the quiz, you go to finish quiz. And in here, we're showing the balance of that contract that we deploy, right? So basically, these tokens are the ERC tokens that we deploy already. So what we want to do is like, okay, I got all the questions correct. So I'm earning 40 tokens here. So I want to go and claim my prize. So in here, I'm basically interacting with the contract that we deploy. We wait a little bit. And boom, then price claim, right? So I'm doing like a very simple alert here, but this could be like much prettier. And then we show the balance as I show in the code. So this is the balance that I have at the moment. If I wanted to retake the quiz, I can retake it. I can do whatever. Also, if I want to log out and start again, I can connect again with using another wallet or anything like that. But that's basically it. That's how you create a Telegram mini app. And this is super, super powerful. Like I feel like this is a full stack app that you can do in an hour. And like you can do magic with this. Like you can do games, you can do quizzes, you can do anything. Like even for communities, I feel like it's amazing. For this example of HER like if we wanted to do like quizzes for users, for HER members, if we wanted to reward people for learning with HER like you can build a mini app and reward users with tokens or anything like that. So I really, really feel that this is like a really cool way to build a consumer app where you can onboard so many users into that. And if you use like this like formula that I created, which is account abstraction, it's amazing for onboarding users, right? Because you don't even need to connect with like a real wallet. You just like using your social logins, you can connect any user and let them interact with the contract. I'll go back to the presentation here to finish up. But yeah, basically, conclusion. So we built that app. We use gasless transactions for account abstraction, which is like amazing. Your users won't need to pay for gas, so it makes it way easier. And we interacted with the ThirdWeb SDK. I show you a little bit how easy is it to do. Like I created first the React project and then I added the SDK to it, so super easy. Um, I have in here like the repo for the quiz mini app. If anyone can want to use it, like you have the code there, you can copy, clone, whatever.
Could you put
So
the link on the chat and get the slide, by the way?
give the link in the chat.
Yes, super cool.
Here, I'll put the link. I'll share with you, Celine, the deck anyway, if you want to like share with
Cool.
everyone after. Um, and yeah, basically that's all. I'll give like let me close this here. So if you guys want to like join our developer community, like ThirdWeb is always like super friendly. We have Discord, we have Twitter, we have a bunch of YouTube video. If you go to YouTube, we have so many workshops that you can do to like build apps. This is only one way that I am showing. I'm also leaving my X account here as well if anyone wants to follow me. And just quickly mention that we have like two really cool programs at the moment for ambassador and startup program. Anyone that wants to join, please feel free to go to these links and fill the form. Also, you can DM me Twitter. Like I'm always happy to help people with this. Anyone that has like, and this like I'm really keen into this, but like we are running these startup programs and like we need more women in these things. Okay, so anyone who's building something, please join this startup program because like it's amazing. We're giving a lot of tools, a lot of networking with really cool companies, and I would love to see like more Web3 basically apps and startups like from women founders. So please, anything, any help that you need, just DM me. I'm super happy to help always. Yeah, and even if you're trying to build this app and you run into a problem or like your code has an issue or something, also feel free to contact me. I think I'm in HERDAO Discord, so you can also like we can also chat there if any issue is happening. But well, yeah, that's it. So what do you guys think? It was easy? It was complicated?
I think it was easy. Like people discover how to build a mini Telegram application, and you told about it really in a simple words with like no code part limits. So it's really nice, and people really enjoy like your workshop. When I saw all the comments. And discover, yes, a lot of things. So thank you, and thank you as well to to showcase the base paymaster because it's
I
an
think I will.
future.
I was
And,
serious. I was ready for them.
oh,
No, I'm cool about it.
it's an important future for building consumer application, like you said. So yeah, I think it was one of the best workshop of the week to showcase how to build something great. So yes, don't hesitate if you have any question. Uh, she is really open-minded to reply to everything. So yeah.
Cool. I think it's gonna be cool seeing like in hackathons like all these like consumer apps that are coming out now because I feel like you can be so creative with that. Like you can do games or quizzes or it can be educational as well. Like for example, a quiz can be quite educational. You can create a whole quiz and reward users with that, which I think is super cool. You can do like, well, this quiz is sort of like earn to learn or learn to earn, which is always super cool. But yeah, thank you so much. This was pretty cool. I'm glad that everything worked out. Like code was fine, not many errors, so everything was smooth.
Yes. And don't hesitate if you want to become an ambassador to send me a message or send a message to Giselle. Um, directly, we will be happy to have you as ambassador if we can with ThirdWeb.
Also, for if anyone, we like ThirdWeb tools are free, but we do have some pay features. So if anyone is we like want to try them, like please send me your details. I'll give you some credits for free so you can try it on just for this amazing cohort. And so yeah, anyone who wants to try like the pay features, maybe let Solin know or let me know on DM. I just need your email and that's it. And I will give you some credits for free because I feel like it's important that people try these tools and it's not like a blockage that you need to pay for them. So please let me know. I'm super happy for that. And anyone who wants to become an ambassador as well or join the cohort of startups, I'll personally try and send you some merch as well. So if you become an ambassador or something, I'll send you some cool merch. But yeah, this was super cool. Thank you so much, Solin. I love working with her now. Like, so anything that I can help with, like, I'm here.
Yeah, super cool. And by the way, are you heading to DevCon? Not
I
sure,
don't
not
think,
sure.
no, I've been doing too much traveling. I'm tired.
Yeah, that's right. You already told me
Yeah,
that.
I'm actually going to San Francisco at the end of the month, and that's like a really big trip. So I don't think I'm going to be going to Thailand, unfortunately.
Okay, okay, okay. So your team will be there.
Sorry?
Your team will be there.
Yeah, my team will be there. Some of my team will be there. So anyone who wants to like talk to them, let me know as well. I think one of our founders is going to be there and some of the engineers. So that's going to be pretty cool. And yeah,
Yes.
that's
So thank you. Just before leaving, is it possible to everyone access the camera to take a pic, collective pic, uh, if possible? Yes,
people
Aya.
are
Aya is just on my left. Daniel is just here. Um, okay, cool. Yes. 1 minute to active the camera. Anyone else?
Hi, Melissa. I see some familiar faces here. It's nice.
Great. Waiting for more face. And I will take a peek. Yes. So let's take a peek right now. I think, yes. Okay, okay. So just 1 minute, like, no, 3 seconds. Sorry. So 1, 2, 3. On va refaire. One more, one more. C'est pas une vidéo non plus, hein. Une photo. Un. 1, 2, 3. Okay, in the box. Great. Thank you everyone for participating this first week of developer cohort. And you have until Thursday. We extend the deadline to submit your challenges. So you have until Thursday to submit the speedrun challenges. And yeah, don't hesitate to DM us if you have any question. We have as well some mentors there to help you. So yeah, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Someday.